Alrighty, I do believe that I am recording Ohayo YouTube. It is Akimbo C AC here, and we are back. Yes, back with another draft analysis video. So, if you have been around the channel for a little bit now, or even if you are new here, I am starting a draft league journey to, be able to experience how fun singles competitive Pokemon can be. Going from a kid that grew up playing Pokemon and not having anyone to play with to now being able to get into draft leagues. And I'm, incredibly grateful for it. We did, in fact, join our fourth, I talked about this before a little bit. We are technically, this is our fourth draft league, but again, the TBD, the to be drafted league is on a pause right now. So this is really like our third league that we're going to be having going on in the background at the current moment. But technically our fourth official draft league now. And it is another Wi-Fi draft league. So I'm very excited about this. And I'm very excited to get into the team that we drafted. So I'm going to do a quick little rundown of some of the rules, things like that. But again, guys, if you haven't already, please check out our previous drafts that we do have going on. They are still currently going on. The Juggernaut Jirachis, when you're starting into new things, you got to just bear with how some of the results come out. I'm going to let you know right now, I do not claim to be the best Pokemon player at all. Even though my knowledge is 10 plus years, my experience and battling is at all. It's literally, there's so much more room to improve. So please just bear with me. Again, I'm sorry if I don't bring amazing, energy or amazing, content with draft, but it really for me is about just, again, getting better and, just getting familiar with the mons that I have on my team, because I want to be able to, make a decent team. But anyway, so again, I'm going to do a quick little rundown. So in this league, there were 16 coaches. I'm going to go ahead and put the lovely list of my other coaches right here on the screen. And the draft order, how we drafted was snake order, or the snake format. So like we've talked about before, it's, out of the pool of 16 coaches, it gets randomized, and, it goes from 1 through 16. Once the 16th coach, it gets to their turn, they get a double pick essentially, and it goes backwards to 16 to 1. So we actually got 13th in the wheel pick on this one. And actually, I don't know if you've seen a starting trend just yet, but in our first league, we got position 5 out of 16 coaches. In our second league, we got 14 out of 14 coaches. In our third league, we got 12th out of 16 coaches, I believe. And then in this league, we got 13th out of 16 coaches. So, again, not really a, glorious place that I'm, super in love with. But one thing that I will say is that I legitimately only got sniped really, once, to be honest. I think for the most part, I got everything that I kind of had planned on and wanted. I actually am gonna show you, though, how much I took advantage of grace period. That will be incredibly funny at the end. So, but yeah, so out of those 16 coaches, obviously we had 115 points, I believe, 115 or 110. No, I'm sorry. Right here in the rules it says 110. So we could either draft 9 or 11 Pokemon. So not 12, but the maximum was 9, or maximum was 11, minimum was 9. And we can have Terra Captains. But the thing with these Terra Captains is, it is high Terra Captains, and actually they restricted, or they let a lot of high Terras loose out here that normally would not have, flown normally. So we're going to have some very tough matchups in this league. And to be completely honest with you, I think that the players in this league are have a little bit more experience. So I definitely, I want to just give good matches. Obviously I want to try my best to make it to playoffs, but I think in this one it's going to be a little bit harder. And again, that's not me trying to be, pessimistic. I just think with, the high Terras, and just how the meta for Scarlet and Violet right now is just, it's super hyper offense, which I have come to learn that I'm really not that good at hyper offense. I really feel like I play balance and I draft so far. I feel like I draft a lot of balance stuff, but again, it's really hard to do balance stuff when the meta right now and just what Scarlet and Violet has been just in, different draft leagues and just in worlds and everything like that. I just feel like it's very hyper-offensive, a very hyper-offensive generation. So, definitely something that I am still very much trying to get adjusted to. And again, as you can see, I have dealt with plenty of times getting 6-0'd. So, it's definitely just a learning thing. And again, it's also about trying to just have fun and just get to where you want to get to in your journey. For me, it's getting better and learning more. Okay, but with all that out of the way, so I'm gonna try to keep this one a little bit not as lengthy as my other draft analysis videos have been. I know I normally speed those ones up. I don't know if I'm gonna speed this one up or not, but in this league, I want to get a humongous shout out to everyone in the league, but also just to here. I'm sorry, I want to do this correctly. So everyone in the Orange Island division, I want to give a huge shout out to you, all the coaches, and everyone running the league. I really appreciate when, just I don't know. I guess when just like people who really like get excited about, I don't know, like when people get really excited about just like doing, going out of their way and like just making sure that like things can look good. And yeah, like we're obviously like, so this draft league that we're in is the professional draft league. We're the PDL, and we're competing in the PDL this season. I believe this is their second season, but it's not like we have PPL promotion or BWE or BBR kind of exposure, right? But like, so yeah, humongous shout out to Elder God Cranks. I believe this is the, okay, well, Elder God Cranks has just been the one doing like the majority of the division news kind of things, like announcements, but the moderator is Golden Tittles. So shout out to both of you guys, but also a humongous shout out to Zay, who created all of the draft slides and graphics for all the coaches. Like, genuinely and seriously, like, these look amazing. And again, I'm super excited to be doing the analysis this way instead of the normal way that I do it, even though I like how I normally do it. But again, also that's time consuming, one, and two, I'm sure it's not very fun for you guys having to suffer through and watch with me. So again, a huge shout out to the moderator, Golden Tittles, Elder God Cranks, and Zay, and just again everyone in the Discord channel or in the server. Just shout out to you guys. Okay, so yeah, with all that out of the way, I want to start off with how we did our team. So in this one, with it being high terrace, that means that the heavy hitters are in this league. I'm talking about the draft board is booted up with Dragapult and Iron Vow and Palafin and Spectrier. Oh, Spectrier, I hate Spectrier. Urshifu, all of the big boys. They are here. But I wanted to just use things that I hadn't used before. And like, I think once I definitely do more and more draft leagues, like, obviously I'm going to try to, like, touch bases on a lot of mons that, like, I haven't used before, but also, like, I know who the GOATs are. And, like, again, I've already briefly talked about, like, my list. One thing I will say, for sure, we got the Juggernaut Jirachis, okay? At some point, we are going to draft Jirachi. And I'm not even joking with you, it may be a first-round pick, just so I can make sure I can secure Jirachi. But I absolutely one day do want to draft Jirachi. I think Jirachi was drafted 3rd round in this time, and I'd already had my sights on a really good steel type. But yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and roll into my first pick. So, with me being 13th, I was like, you know what? Let's get a mon that I feel like is super cool to use on the OU ladder and showdown. Just a mon that I feel like I don't know, I feel like I can get a lot done with, and it's just really useful, utility-wise, strength-wise as well, is what I'm hoping, like, to be able to show off for it. Like, I really, really, really do think that this mon is, it's got a lot of utility, and it's very strong and very good. For my first round pick, I did pick up Cinderace. I texted, I messaged Luke, a familiar face with the Juggernaut Jirachis, Mario Fan 2127. I texted Luke, and this was like 2 weeks ago before I sent in the application for this league. I was like, you know what, mon, I don't know why I want to use it, but I want to try it out, was Cinderace. I just feel like, I think I've seen Joey use Pokeaim MD. I think I've seen him use Cinderace. I think I've seen Mephisto use Cinderace. I know, oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now. It's freaking 2 a.m. I've seen Kyle A. I've seen Kyle A. use Cinderace. So I just was really, really, really wanting to give Cinderace a chance and give Cinderace a shot to use, I'm going to put the stats of Cinderace right here. So Cinderace is working with 80 HP, 116 attack, so a very respectable attack stat. 75 defense, 65 special attack, 75 special defense, and 119 speed. So again, like I've said so many times to you guys, I feel like speed is so important in draft. you know, I just feel like you really can never go wrong with, like, having, you know, a very fast mon. Like, just being able to outspeed a lot of things is going to be incredibly useful. Incredibly useful. And, again, that'll force things to have to run, like, you know, if they want to try to outspeed me, or if they want to, you know, speed creep me, I can play with that speed stat to my advantage. And also, the abilities for Cinderace are Blaze, which, you know, obviously once it hits, like, the 1/3 of its AHP, all fire attacks have a 1.5 times boost to them. But what ability we're probably going to be using the absolute most is Libero, which is basically the new version of Protean, where once per switch-in, Cinderace will be able to change the type of, or change its whole typing depending on which move it presses. So Cinderace is an amazing U-turner. So literally being able to press U-turn and then turn into a bug type to get stab off of that will be amazing. Will be amazing. Yeah, that is definitely one thing with Cinderace I am very, very excited about. So yeah, what Cinderace has is being able to do, like, Baton Pass. So if we didn't want to, if we suspected maybe something might have had, like, a Rocky Helmet instead, we could just Baton Pass. We have Setup with Bulk Up, and Swords Dance too. Then we have Court Change. So with Court Change, I'm able to swap the field's effects with the opposing side. So let's say, for example, someone wants to set up screens on me. I could send out Cinderace, press Court Change, and have those screens for myself on my side of the field. Or if someone were to set up rocks on me first turn, I could go into Cinderace next turn and switch those rocks back over to the enemy's side, which I just think is so fire that, like, I don't have to run Rapid Spin. I could just basically force hazards on the other person's side of the field, you know, if I really want to. And again, like, Libero will let me change from fire typing to normal typing if I were to press that. Which could just, again, be some really cool things that we could do. We have access to Gunk Shot. We have access to High Jump Kick, Iron Head, Low Kick, Pyro Ball, Sucker Punch, Super Fang, Trailblaze, U-Turn, Will-O-Wisp. Like, I just, oh my god, I love using Cinderace on the OU ladder, so I'm very glad that we got Cinderace. For my second pick, so thankfully it didn't take me too long to get to the second pick, which was something that actually, I feel like, worked out for me a lot of the time, because I think from what was happening in the Discord chat is that I was picking up picks that people were definitely, I guess, looking at once it was coming back towards their turn. So for my second pick, I picked up a very, very good mon that if you have seen my long ass tier list video where I rated all the gens, you know, once I talked about Scarlet and Violet, this is one of my favorite mons from this new generation. The Juggernaut Jirachis, for our second pick, picked up Goldango. And not only did we pick up Goldango, we picked up Goldango as one of our Terra captains. So, I am so excited to be able to finally use Goldango as a freaking, in draft and just as a team member. I love Goldango so much. So with Goldango being one of our Terra captains, we do have 3 Terra types that we can be, and one of them has to be a stab typing, or, like, you know, a typing already on the Pokemon. So for Goldango, we're able to Terra into a Ghost, Fairy, and Water type. And again, I'm just so excited that I was able to pick up Goldango on the way back. Again, having a good Steel type is so important, and also, I just feel like Ghost in draft is very underrated. Or maybe not super underrated, but just, like, I don't know if people realize how offensively good Ghost is. But yeah, very, very excited about Goldango. Let's go ahead and look at these stats right here. So we are rocking with 87 HP, 60 attack, 95 defense, 133 special attack stat. That is monstrous. 91 special defense, and 84 speed. So I think all around, Goldango is very, very good. Like, you know, I'm not going to be messing with that physical attack, but oh my gosh. Like, there are some times where I won't even have to invest in special attack, but it will still hit hard. Like, I just... Oh my god, I love Goldango so much. And then its ability is cracked. Good as gold. This Pokemon is immune to status moves. So, if I decide to go heavy hazards one week, and my opponent doesn't have a Rapid Spinner but a Defogger, no sir. You will not be able to defog on me. And as well, with us being a Ghost type, we are immune to Rapid Spin. One of the best spin blockers in the meta right now. Besides, like, Annihilate Annihilate probably being the best, and like Spectrier, but like, bro, oh my gosh, I'm just so happy with Goldango, bro, so happy with Goldango. And again, with it being able, like, I feel like its coverage moves, like, they're okay, and it could definitely be better, but like, listen to some of this, like, Dazzling Gleam, Stab, Terra Fairy, Dazzling Gleam, can like, I feel like do serious damage, like, that's crazy. Focus Blast as well, like, to be able to hit dark types, like, oh my gosh, that's really good. We got Hex on there, we've got dual screens, so, actually, if you happen to had seen, our PCPL, week 7 matchup, you just saw that we went against a Goldango that had dual screens, and it kicked our ass, so, I'm very happy about being able to have Goldango now. But yeah, we have options to dual screen, obviously signature move, Make It Rain, 120 special steel type move, is so crazy. So crazy. Also getting access to like set up like Nasty Plot. We don't have access to Calm Mind, but Nasty Plot is crazy. Also having Psychic, Power Gem to be able to hit like fire types, I feel like is super cool. Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, and also like Trick. Like I just and Thunder Wave as well. So being able to like lower or like, you know, give a status move to other mons while not being able to take status ourselves, I just feel like it's so awesome. So, you know, with it going from 13th to 4th pick on second round, it took a very long time to make it back for our 3rd pick. And again, I wanted to go with like a classic mon, just like, you know, one that I have never used in draft. Like all of my draft, I've never used these mons. But you know, I've got a lot of history with some of them, and our 3rd pick, we picked up the OG Dragon type Dragonite for our 3rd round pick. Honestly, I was really surprised that no one was looking at Dragonite. Like, I think during like second round or like the end of second round and going into 3rd round, I think a lot of Dragon types were getting snatched up. Like, I'm pretty sure Gouging Fire had gotten picked up at that point. Dragapult was way gone. I think Dragapult was first pick. Latios had gotten picked up. Garchomp had gotten picked up. Kyurem had gotten picked up. You know, just all these dragon types, and I was just like, oh my gosh, is no one going to pick up Dragonite? Again, let's go ahead and look at the GOAT right here. The literal OG right here. I'm going to go ahead and put the stat pool right here. If you look at these stats, Dragonite, I feel like, is just roided out. We've got 91 HP, 134 physical attack stat, 95 defense, 100 in special attack, and again, we talked about this before. Do not sleep on mons that have the potential to go mixed. Like, I see so much mixed Dragonite lately, and like, again, because mixed Dragonite is not troll, like, it's actually decent. 100 special defense, and then 80 speed. So, you know, again, we're not outspeeding a crazy amount of things, but you know what? Dragonite gets access to extreme speed, one of the best priority moves in the game. So, you know, good luck to anyone trying to take that from Dragonite, to be honest. These abilities are also, I feel like, very, very nice. We've got Inner Focus, which has been changed to not only have the ability to not be able to get flinched, but we're immune to Intimidate, which, again, I just feel like is so good. Being able to be immune to Intimidate with that monstrous attack stat, yeah, I think we would love that. And then, Multiscale. I love this ability. Even though sometimes it can be a bit of a dagger. Shout out to Shady. It can be a bit of a dagger, but I still think that this ability is very awesome. If this Pokemon is at full HP, damage taken from attacks is halved. So, even if we were to get hit by like a super effective move, I'm not saying that we want to get hit by an ice type move, which is 4 times weak, which we're 4 times weak too, but any attack, but especially a special, a super effective type attack, will be halved as long as we're at full HP. So, I just feel like, again, that is so good. Oh my gosh, like, I'm so glad I was able to pick up Dragonite. And again, I'm really shocked that no one was honestly even looking at it. Like, when I picked Dragonite, no one said anything about it, which, again, I just feel like is so crazy. Like, I just feel like, I don't know if Dragonite's starting to be like a sleeper pick or whatnot, but like, Dragonite's stayed in OU for a reason, you know? Dragonite's been the OG for a reason. And you know, I'll quickly go over like what Dragonite can do. So we literally can set up with Dragonite agility. I don't know if this thing has a special attacking form of setup. Not from what I'm seeing here, but again, setting up our speed and attack, like, stop it. But not only having access to extreme speed priority, we have Aqua Jet priority as well, which I just feel like is cool. We have a lot of coverage moves, a lot of coverage moves. But even like super hard hitting moves, like we have Draco Meteor, Dragon Claw, Dragon Pulse, Dragon Tail. If you wanted to do like some phasing, Earthquake to be able to, you know, help out with things that we are a little weak to sometimes. We have fire coverage, we have ice coverage, we have hurricane coverage, hydro pump, iron head for fairies, stone edge, surf, like just insane things what Dragonite can do. And also we can keep ourselves healthy with roost as well, and rest. But again, like I just feel like such an awesome thing what Dragonite can do. I love Dragonite. For our fourth pick, I did get a lot of flack for this. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, people were like, "Oh wow," they were wanting this mon, but I'm very glad that I was able to get it on the fourth round on my way back. And that mon is Screamtail. We did pick up Screamtail. Now I love Screamtail. I love Jigglypuff. I'm very glad that Jigglypuff was able to get a basically like Ultra Instinct upgrade and become this just prehistoric goat. But it's not the best at attacking. Let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and put the stats right here. So we're looking at 115 HP, 65 attack in both physical and special, 99 in physical defense, 115 in SPDF, and 111 in speed. So again, another speedy option, or something over 100 speed, which again, I just feel like is so good. And I'm really glad to be able to use Screamtail. Like, again, like, I know that the fairy typing is good, can be really good offensively, but it can also be really good defensively as well. Like, this thing's, like, stat distribution, even though I'm not a fan of the attack, like, the attacking stats, oh my gosh, I'm in love. I'm in love with the fact that this thing can eat so many hits. Let me go ahead and tell you, like, what is really, really good about Screamtail. So, with it being so fast, with it having 111 speed, we're able to pull off fast Encores, fast Wishes, fast Thunder Waves. So, literally, we can go full support. It has access to dual screens. We could do Baton Pass, even though this thing has no momentum hitting moves like U-turn or flip turn. This thing gets Baton Pass. So again, just being able to get out on a matchup that we don't like, and just I just feel like that's so awesome. Has setup with Bulk Up and Calm Mind. So if I really wanted to get my attack stats up with Screamtail, I could set up on people with Calm Mind or Bulk Up. Amazing coverage moves. Amazing coverage moves. I'm just gonna blab off a few. We got Flamethrower, Focus Blast, Grass Knot, Hyper Voice, Ice Beam, Play Rough, Psychic Fang, Psychic Noise to stop healing. This thing can set up rocks. This thing literally can set up rocks. I'm very, very glad to be trying Screamtail for my first time. I'm very, very excited about it. And again, like that right there, if you have followed the draft journey for a minute now, you know how, like, cores, how I've talked about before, even though I don't always draft them, they are important. Having, like, Fairy Steel Dragon or Water Grass Fire. Just having, like, that kind of, those cores is really good. And with our first 4 picks, we already got the Dragon Steel and Fairy core out of the way, which I'm incredibly happy about. So for my 5th pick, at this point I'm thinking, like, shoot, I really, really need to think about, like, I like the speed that we're getting, but I need more bulk besides Screamtail, and I need to start thinking about immunities to things. So, like, right now, on our team, we're immune to normal typing and ground typing, but that's it. So, for our 5th pick, the Juggernaut Jirachis went with Quagsire. And I am this little cutie, Quagsire. I'm very happy that we got Quagsire. I will not lie, I'm kind of worried. So my favorite typing is water typing. And in my top 5, ground typing is also up there. So, I know that Quagsire is a fake water and ground type. Let's go ahead and put up the stat pool for Quagsire right here. We're rocking with 95 HP, which is very good. 85 attack, which actually isn't terrible. 85 physical defense, 65 special attack, 65 SPDF, and 35 speed. So, definitely Quagsire is here with us to be able to eat hits and to stop any kind of like setup. So let's go ahead and look at these abilities right here as well. Let's kind of divert away from like the damp one. I mean, it's cool getting to be immune, excuse me, being immune by, explosion, but we're gonna just kind of let that one stay in the corner, okay? What I really like is having access to water absorb. So not only do we have an electric immunity now, we have water immunity as well now too, which is awesome. So this Pokemon heals 1/4 of its max HP when it's hit with a water move. So it is immune to water typing, and we get HP back when hit with a water type move. Which again, I just feel like it can be so good. Now, my favorite ability on Quagsire is this last one, which is Unaware. This Pokemon ignores other Pokemon stat changes when taking or doing damage. So if something decides it wants to... So just like how we have Clefable in the PCPL Draft League, Clefable has Unaware, and so does Quagsire. So, again, if something wants to set up, we can literally just ignore that. If something wants to, Shell Smash on us, or something wants to, bulk up, or just do some kind of setup on us, we can just have Quagsire out and ignore those buffs, and we can debuff it with Haze. Or, let's look at Quagsire's, just moves real quick. So we've got access to Haze, just like I said. We've got access to Recovery, so we definitely can stay alive if we needed to. We have access to Spikes and Stealth Rocks, so very glad that we can Hazard Stack. Quagsire has access to Body Press. We got access to Counter if we wanted to pull off some, kind of cuckoo sets. We could do Slow Encore, which isn't really super popular, and, not really it doesn't really work out all the time, but we could definitely do it. And also having access to Toxic and Toxic Spikes. I love that. I'm a fan of that. But, I'm glad that we got Quagsire. I'm just a little worried about our water typing. And that's also kind of why I went with Goldango having water as Terra type as well, just so we can have a real way or a real form of trying to deal water damage to our opponents. Just because, again, like, Quagsire is a fake, water type, and being able to use attacking moves to lower things. But anyway, so for our sixth pick, I went very off the deep end, I feel like. I got a very weird pick, and I don't know what I was really thinking about with going with this mon. I guess I was just more so thinking about, like, something that has some speed and has like a little bit of bulk and could dish out, some attacks here and there, but also could be a good support mon as well. So for our sixth pick, we did pick up Virizion, one of the Sword of Justices. I will not lie to you, I really, and this is definitely going to be trying to, again, I've got like a whole list of mons that I just want to try out in draft, which I feel like is so much fun, and like another reason why I want to join more. Like, even if I don't do good in those drafts, I just want to try those mons. I really was tempted to pick Keldeo at multiple points in this draft. I just think that Keldeo is just such a cool option. And Keldeo was definitely on my radar for a while, but I decided going with Virizion instead. So I'll go ahead and put the stat pool right up here on the screen. We are looking at 91 HP, 90 attack, 72 defense, 90 special attack, 129 special defense, and 108 speed. So again, another mon that is over 100 base speed, which again, I just feel like that does a lot of good for us compared to, not good. And again, like, let's look at Virizion's moves real quick. So we're looking at, having coverage moves like Air Slash, having strong stab moves with Aura Sphere, close combat. So again, Virizion gives us the option to go either physical or special. But again, really, I feel like I'm going to be trying to use Virizion more as like a support option. Virizion has access to dual screens, has access to Calm Mind and Synthesis, Swords Dance as well, and has access to Vacuum Wave. So we have Vacuum Wave and Quick Attack. So we have other ways of priority as well. And actually, we also have Upper Hand, which basically 100% flinches a mon going for a priority move. Which, again, could definitely be cool. Like, if we suspect one week, like, someone wants to bring, like, Extreme Speed, Quick Attack, Aqua Jet. I don't know if it works on Sucker Punch. I don't think it does. I'll have to check if Upper Hand goes before Sucker Punch. Yeah, you know, just a mon that I just felt like trying, you know? And again, like, if I don't enjoy Virizion will get traded. And, you know, it won't be any hard feelings. Like, you know, Virizion will still have love from the Juggernaut Jirachis, you know? And at least it will be able to say, like, hey, I made it to a draft team, you know? But, yeah, so for my 7th pick, I definitely wanted to have something that was going to be immune to psychic typing. And again, I really did kind of need like a real ground typing. And I was very, very surprised that this mon stayed on the board for as long as it did. Honestly, I got this mon during Grace. So the fact that it went the whole draft without being drafted, kind of wild to me. But the Juggernaut Jirachis for our 7th pick, we did pick up that boy Krookodile. Oh my gosh. Again, very, very incredibly happy that I have Krookodile. I love Krookodile. One of my favorite mons from Unova. Love, love, love Krookodile. I'm going to go ahead and put the stat pool right here. So we are working with 95 HP, 117 physical attack, 80 defense, 65 special attack, 70 SPDF, and 92 speed. So, you know, not really too fast, but also it's not like the slowest thing in the world. Like, we'll outspeed like 90 base mons, 90 base speed mons. We'll outspeed 85, 80, you know, and Krookodile is one of the best choice scarfers, you know, so very, very happy with picking up Krookodile. Again, being able to be fully immune to psychic typing and having a real ground type. Just because, again, like, I feel like having a good ground type is nice to have in draft, just because, again, like, electric types are very intimidating, especially with being able to have, like, just fast volt switchers, or, you know, just if you don't have a ground resist, like, electric just kind of clicks on a lot of things. So, you know, being able to have another immunity to electric and to psychic, I just feel like it's, you know, fantastic. I love that. And these abilities for Krookodile are very good. Krookodile has Intimidate, which is one of the best abilities in Pokemon ever, which, again, if you're a nerd at Pokemon like me, you know that. You know that Intimidate is one of the best abilities out there. Being able to, on switching, have the opponent get a debuff in physical attack, going down by 1 stage. Like, that's huge. Also, having Moxie. So if Krookodile wants to literally be a sweeper, it can have Moxie, which means that after Krookodile gets a KO, its physical attack stat raises by 1. So just imagine Choice Scarfed Moxie Krookodile in a really good matchup. That could literally just win games. Like, that is so crazy to me. And then for this last ability, it's Anger Point, which basically, like, if Krookodile gets crit, it basically goes straight to max attack stat. So, you know, but again, like, why would we ever want to get crit? Or why would we want to, like, put our luck into, like, a crit chance, you know? I don't know. That's just my opinion for it. For our next pick, we were definitely looking kind of scared to hazards. And again, like, court change with Cinderace is really cool, and I love it, but I would be very irresponsible if I did not have at least one other version or some kind of other way to get rid of hazards without having to rely fully on Cinderace. So, for our 8th pick, the Juggernaut Jirachis did pick up Komala. Komala definitely was a very last-minute choice, and actually another mon that I got during Grace. And I'm not going to sit here and try to be like, oh my god, Komala is the GOAT. Like, Komala go crazy. Like, no. Komala is, it's interesting for sure. I'll go ahead and put the stat pool right here for it. So we are looking at 65 HP, 115 physical attack stat for a koala bear. I just feel like is super awesome. 65 physical defense, 75 special attack, 95 SPDF, and 65 speed. With this very incredible ability, Comatose. So this Pokemon cannot be statused. The only thing that we can be statused is with sleep, because it's a sleeping koala bear, which is, again, like, this thing having 115 physical attack stat and not being able to be burnt is very good. Very, very, very good. You know, with Komala being able to have, like, access to slow U-turn, knockoff, hard knockoff, rapid spin, like I said, being a normal type and having, like, all these coverage moves of, like, you know, Brick Break and Earthquake. Do you see this koala bear using Earthquake or Gunk Shot? Yeah, like, crazy move coverage. Sucker Punch, Trailblaze. This thing has Wish. So, like, this thing could be support as well. Its potential is very crazy. And again, like, I just like it. I liked it when it came out in Alola. But if Komala doesn't perform, then, like, it'll get traded. And again, I'm going to go over, like, how many times I did changes for Grace. But, definitely Cryogonal for a spinner, and also just having the ice typing on our team is definitely something that I had originally planned, but actually Cryogonal got picked the first time around in the draft, but then got dropped during Grace. So there's definitely still an opportunity for me at some point later down the line, maybe, to get Cryogonal and change that, like, as a spinner or just as another fast option. But the reason why I kind of am okay with not going with Cryogonal is because we have a lot of fast Mons already, and we're not even done with the fast Mons yet. So I don't know if, for me, it would be worth it getting Cryogonal just for Rapid Spin. I don't know. I'll be thinking about a lot of things, and obviously we have to, first get through week 1. And, one thing I do want to say is that is one thing I at least hasn't gone completely out the window for me, is that I'm normally pretty okay and decent with week 1 matches. I normally, I've been 3 for 3 so far with winning my week 1 matches in all 3 of the PCPL, the SADL, and the TBD. I won all my first week matches there, or week 1 matches, so, definitely keep my fingers crossed, hoping to keep that, I don't know, maybe tradition, I don't know, idea alive, I don't know, but yeah, so that's Kamala. I don't even know why I skewed off like that. I'm very sorry. I'm babbling. It's 3 a.m., so I'm just trying to get this wrapped up. So for our 9th pick, I really did need to get an electric type. And I kind of am surprised that I had waited this long to get one. And I will go ahead and say, like, Jolteon is still on the board. And that was definitely something that I was for sure considering. Like, having 130 speed stat is insane, especially with, like, Regieleki and Deoxys speed running around. And actually, I think Regieleki is still on the draft board as well. But anyway, for our 9th pick, we did pick up Hisuian Electrode, and I'm happy with the choice. My only thing is that one, I'm not a fan of the additional weaknesses that Electrode had received, but I just feel like this thing is so weak. But it's okay. We didn't draft Electrode with the idea of thinking that it needed to be like a sweet demon. So let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and put the stat pool right here. We're looking at 60 HP, 50 physical attack stat, 70 defense, 80 special attack, 80 spadef, and 150 base speed stat. So we have one of the highest speed tier mons in the draft, which I am very happy about. Very, very happy about. Electro's abilities, I really only like 2 out of the 3 of them, but, Soundproof, being able to be immune to sound-based moves, that's, again, not bad, and maybe it could be, like, some niche stuff, but I don't ever see myself running that ability. I mostly see myself running Static, which, again, giving another 30% chance on paralyzing something that makes contact with me, that is huge. Huge. Electrode would definitely try to be a static and status spreader, for sure. And then Aftermath, which is, if this Pokemon is KO'd with a contact move, this move's user loses a quarter of its max HP. So basically, being able to have a set way, if I get hit with a physical move, being able to just get 25% off on something like immediately, I just feel like could be super clutch sometimes. And again, I know I was just kind of like not talking the best about Hisuian Electrode, but I do like what potential it has. So, like, it being able to be a fast Volt Switch. I was just talking about that earlier. Being able to Volt Switch out on things, I just feel like is super good. Having its kind of like weird signature move, Chloroblast, which is a 150 power Grass type move, but it's a Grass type Steel Beam. So 50% of our HP goes away. We can only use it twice in one life, essentially. But also having access to Discharge with that 30% Paralyze, Explosion, Giga Drain, Leaf Storm, Leech Seed. So if we wanted to run like some really toxic sets and do like, some sub-Leech Seed crap with leftovers, like that's super fucking cringe. But, I could definitely do it. And I don't know. I could definitely do it. This thing also has access to Foul Play as well. So that 50 attack stat is much better for it than it knows, because Foul Play, on something setting up, or on a mon that has like a 110 plus physical attack stat, they're taking a decent chunk from Foul Play. So I definitely don't recommend messing with Electro too much. And again, another fast T-Wave spreader. So we've got fast T-Wave with Screamtail, and now with a Hisuian Electrode, and then we have a mid mid-speed T-Wave option with Dragonite, and Goldango, which again I just feel like is super cool. But yeah. Really, I'm glad with Hisuian Electrode, but I won't lie, it definitely can be swapped out. Even though I very much do love having the 150 speed base speed stat with me, I just feel like maybe there could be other things that we can do to form a more unified and better team. So for our last two picks, they're definitely some doozies, I won't lie. So we'll go with our 10th pick. We did pick up another Terra Captain and another OG. I do have to say, another OG. We picked up Tauros, the absolute GOAT. The absolute GOAT. I love regular Tauros. I'm going to go ahead and put the stat pool for Tauros right here. We are looking at 75 HP, 100 physical attack stat, 95 physical defense, 40 special attack, 70 Spadef, and 110 speed. So, again, another option that is over 100 base speed option, which I just feel like is very, very good for Tauros. So, the Terra types that we're able to do for Tauros are normal, obviously. We went with Ghost, and then for our last one, we did Ground. So kind of being able to have, like, another quote-unquote fast ground type mon, but also acting as, like, an immunity for, electric moves. Or, defensively coming in or staying in on something that wants to do, like, not very effective attack against ground types. Like, that could be really cool. And again, Tauros has just always been a GOAT. All of its coverage moves. I feel like Tauros has a lot of coverage moves, which are really awesome. Close combat, Earthquake, Flame Blast, and Flamethrower is crazy. Ice Beam as well. Iron Head, Raging Bull. So that'll be able to get rid of screens, which is very awesome. Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Surf, Thunderbolt, T-Wave, Wild Charge, Zen Headbutt. Just Tauros has a really, really good coverage pool, and just I feel like is a very good option. And I'm very glad that I'm using it as a Terra Captain. I really, really, really wanted to get another second Terra Captain. And I mean, like, I love Goldango, and I really am going to try to use Terra Goldango, but I don't want to have to put so much pressure on it. Plus, I feel like if I'm able to bring both Goldango and Tauros into a game, that leaves the mind tricks up for so much, like, I could Terra with either one of these guys, and you don't know until I press the button, So, very cool for that. And again, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the record time, and that is just so crazy. I'm so sorry it's taking so long. But for my last pick, I went with a very weird pick. And I feel like, if you don't want to talk good things about my last pick, that's completely okay, because I really wouldn't talk great things about my last pick either. But I wanted to get something with more bulk, and if you notice, I talk about it a good bit in the draft analysis videos and just, like, in general, for, poison types. Having a grounded poison helps tremendously and is able to soak up the toxic spikes for you, and, it's really, really good. But for the Juggernaut Jirachis' last pick in the Professional Draft League in the PDL, we did draft we drafted Throat Goat. This was the only pick that I was very concerned about with myself. I was like, oh gosh, like, man, like, God, all the other good poison types are either being, like, held captive on the draft board, or they were taken, So with Swalot, with it being able to be a grounded poison type, there is actually surprisingly other halfway decent things that it could do. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at the stat pool really quick. So we're looking at 100 HP, which again is very good. 75 physical attack, sorry, I did not mean 75. 73 physical attack, 83 physical defense, 73 special attack, 83 physical defense, and 55 speed. So I don't expect to be, outspeeding anything. Like, Swalot definitely, even though I say that speed is very important in drafts, being able to have good pivots for your fast mons, they are very important. So, yeah, that, wait, sorry. So yeah, so it's an okay stat pool with Swalot, but also with these abilities. The abilities was also one other thing that did kind of make me think like, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe Swalot isn't a complete troll. So Liquid Ooze, that it's not terrible. This Pokemon damages those draining HP from it for as much as they would heal. So basically, anything going for Horn Leech, Leech Seed, or actually I don't know if Leech Seed is in that party, but for Giga Drain, Drain Punch, Draining Kiss, anything that if a mon is hitting me and they're getting recovery off of it, they do not heal. They lose HP from that. So that's not too bad of a ability. But the one that I'll probably be looking at the absolute most is being able to have an immunity from knockoff. Knockoff is so spammable into my team. I feel like if I run Boots or Air Balloon or some other crap, and I don't have my last pick with me, I wouldn't be able to be immune to Swalot. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't basically Throat Goat will not be able to be knocked off, which I feel like is really good. So if I wanted to keep like a Citrus Berry intact, or if I wanted to keep like a Resist Berry, or just whatever, there's definitely I'm not gonna lie to you, I lost all of my complete train of thought. I'm way too tired to be doing this. But yeah, that is gonna wrap it up for me. This has been the Juggernaut Jirachis' 4th official draft league that we entered, and this is our team. I'm gonna do a quick run through one more quick time. We did pick up Cinderace as our first pick, Goldango for our second, and is one of our 2 Terra Captains. We did pick up Dragonite, Screamtail, Quagsire, Virizion, Crocodile, Tauros as our second Terra Captain. I am very, very, very interested in this team that I built. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very interested in it, and I hope that it's able to, work together well, and that I am able to see that it has a lot of potential, and that's something that makes me really happy, and that I definitely want to try to get better about. But before I completely crash out and forget everything that we have just done, let me show you how indecisive I was during Grace. So yeah, literally before, in that 24-hour period while Grace was going, I changed my team 3 times. It was a crisis for sure. No, it wasn't actually, but I wanted to make sure I drafted a good team, So this is how it looked like the first time, and honestly, this team slapped. I won't even cap with you. Like, this team slapped. And actually, in this last slot, I didn't take the picture. I went to bed that night, but I had the last pick before Grace started. The spot right here was actually Macargo. So, like, this team plus Macargo. Honestly, I feel like that version of that team slapped so hard. So hard. Being able to have Meloetta as, like, the option, as, like, a normal type to be able to be immune to ghost types, but having that psychic typing and being able to do, like, Relic Song to get into its other form that's 128 base speed total, like, oh my god, like, I definitely at some point want to use Meloetta. If my enthusiasm right now talking about it isn't enough because how tired I am, I definitely want to use Meloetta for sure. And I was really happy about getting Serena as well, like a good rapid spinner, has access to triple axle this gen, a pretty decently okay grass type, and definitely didn't have like the additional weaknesses that Virizion has. And then we had Toxicroak and Umbreon as well, so, and Macargo right here. So, that was crazy as a first iteration. Then, for once Grace had officially started, then this is what my team had looked like. So, we had added Tauros at that time, because we didn't have Tauros the first time. So we had added Tauros that time, and we also added Skuntank as my ground and poison type and a dark type. And Terrakion, I was genuinely wanting to keep Terrakion so badly. I wanted to use Terrakion so badly. Again, I was really tossed up between a lot of the Sword of Justices, besides Cobalion. But Keldeo, I was really up in arms about. Terrakion is right here, like literally was on the team before Virizion, and then, became Virizion. I think the reason why I did Virizion is because, yes, even though I was losing the rock typing and my grass type that could do rapid spin, I was able to have grass and fighting in one mon instead of having to split it up between 2, which could, again, I didn't have to rely strictly on the physical aspect, because both Terrakion and Serena would have to be physical. Like, its special attacks are way too low. But yeah, I just really, I don't know. That probably is why I did the switch for Virizion. And then the last time before we made it to our final draft was this version of the team, where I actually had traded out Macargo down there for Chimecho, because I realized that my ground immunity, and also that was another reason right there too for Virizion, is that my ground weakness looked so hard. Like, you know, Cinderace, weak to ground types. Goldango, weak to ground types. Throat Goat, weak to ground types. You know, like, all those options right there, they're weak to ground types. And, you know, on these other versions right here, we had not great stuff for ground types either. Like, you know, the first time around we had Cinderace, Goldango, you know, Toxicroak, and Macargo that were all weak to ground types. Then we went into having Cinderace, Goldango, Terrakion, Skuntank, and Macargo being weak to ground types. So that was definitely an issue. And, you know, with the last option, like, I had picked up Chimecho, and honestly, Chimecho, low-key, was not a troll pick. It was, one, able to be, you know, immune to ground types, but it had the option for Heal Bell, which literally only, like, 3 mons have this generation. So Heal Bell is huge. If literally my team was getting spammed with status, Chimecho could just Heal Bell and get rid of all of that. Like, it was, yeah. I definitely, like, had my moment where I was like, okay, like, I want to keep Chimecho. But then that made knockoff spam super annoying. You know, and again, like, I know I can't prepare for everything bad, but I think definitely within that grace period, I just, you know, saw that, like, there were very not good, you know, flaws going on with my team. And again, like, there were options that I could do to, you know, not make them as apparent. So, yeah, this is the Juggernaut Jirachis Professional Draft League PDL team for this season so far. And again, it very well could change, but you know what? It also could very well not change. But, you know, only time will tell. Our week 1 matches, so let me actually discuss that a little bit before I end it off as well. So with my other draft leagues, there's no, like, upload required scheduling for them. Like, they don't have to be uploaded on a specific date, so they're kind of just all over the place. Like, you know, obviously, like with the SADL, you know, obviously I haven't recorded those matches in a minute, and I'll probably have to do that sometime this week coming up. But for this league, the videos are going to be going up on Saturdays, so you know, I'll definitely have to do my best to kind of keep the editing, I don't know, I guess I don't have to be so nitpicky about it, but I have to have those videos uploaded on Saturday, you know, so, yeah, it'll keep me in a routine, and it'll just keep content coming through on the channel, so, you know, that's really exciting, and again, like, it's just exciting getting to learn more about draft leagues, and it's been fun so far. Like, you know, obviously not getting, you know, completely destroyed is fun, but, like, also I can't really downplay, like, my opponent's prep, you know? Like, it's literally having to look at your opponent's team that week, look at the threatening and interesting options that they have, and try to prepare the best that you can for those options, because you don't know what 6 are going to come until they come, you know? So, I don't know, it's an amazing thing, and I'm just really glad that I'm getting to learn so much about draft. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for me. I'm exhausted. It's 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, so this has been our draft analysis video for the Professional Draft League, the PDL, and our week 1 match will be going up not this Saturday, but the upcoming Saturday. So, and our week 1 opponent is the Boston Sandy Shocks, and this matchup, this is gonna be a really, really hard one. So hopefully we can keep the week 1 tradition alive, and hopefully we can just have a good season, you know? Even if we don't make it to playoffs, hopefully we can just have a good season. But yeah, it has been Akimbo AC here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. If you did stay till the end, thank you so incredibly much. I'm really not sure why you want to, you know, keep up with my janky content, but I really do appreciate you. And you don't have to like and you don't have to subscribe, but I really do hope that you at least enjoyed the video. If you want to leave a comment, please do. Again, I love being able to respond and just talk Pokemon. Or, you know, if you wanted to talk other things as well, like, just leave it in the comments below, and I will definitely try my best to get back to you. But, you know, if you have someone that you care about deeply or love, please let them know that you love them. Be thankful that you are waking up to another day. You know, tomorrow is not guaranteed to you, so please be thankful that you're waking up to another day. And again, it's a journey that we are going down for Draft League, and I'm very glad that if you're sticking with the Juggernaut Jirachis, that you're here for the journey. And you know what? Why don't you tell me who your favorite member of our team is so far? If you want my honest opinion, I think, you know, biasly, it's got to be Goldango. It's our Terra captain, you know. So I'm very happy about all of the mons that we have. You know, even little trash throat goat down there. I'm pretty interested and happy about getting to try. So yeah, that's it for me. It's been a Kimbo C AC here, and I am signing out. Peace. See you for week 1.